Okay, everybody, welcome. This is going to be the feeder cattle futures review. We're going to take a look to see where I think price is headed. For those that are new to the channel, welcome. I know some of you are coming over from Corbett's channel on the feeder flash. Welcome to the channel. We're going to talk about the futures pricing for this will be the January contracts. Okay, but the contracts that are kind of around this January, the prices are a little bit similar. Okay, so for those who don't know, upper left-hand corner, that symbol that we trade on the futures for those that trade the feeder cattle or hedge, okay, or just want to know the prices of where we think feeder cattle is going, that symbol is /GF, okay. Now, on the far right-hand side here, you can see price has been, this blue line is the 50-day moving average. Okay, I know some of you are not technical chart savvy, and that's okay. I'm going to help you out, okay? So we can see price has been below. This is a daily chart, by the way. So all these candlesticks we're looking at here, this is every single candlestick represents a day, all right? From all the way back in the beginning of January, way over here of 2021, all the way to today. That's all days we're looking at there, okay? So this 50-day moving average, we can see that the feeder cattle prices have been finding resistance up against that line. Okay, so what is that line? 158. At the moment, it's 158.26, okay, or 25. So right about 158 and an eighth to 158 and a quarter. It's somewhere in that ballpark, okay? So what's happening is the feeder cattle prices came down from way back here in August 24th was the high, okay? And since then, it came down, broke through the 50-day, came back up, touched it, about the middle of September, and you'll notice every time it dips down, excuse me, comes back up, touches the 50, finds resistance, comes down, comes back up, so it's repeating the process. Now here we are today, and it looks like it's trying to get above the 50, okay? Trying to. But every time it comes up and touches that 50, guys, it's been getting rejected and coming back down, okay? Now this indicator down here, this one right here, we call the MACD, but this basically tells us right now that feeder cattle futures have kind of flatlined, right? They're just moving sideways. Okay, the one on the bottom left, this is one of my own indicators I created, but it's called the amplitude percent. Basically, it's just measuring the distance between the candlestick and the 50-day moving average. So let's say, let's pick this candlestick right here. You can see it's kind of far removed from the 50-day moving average. Okay. If you go back to this one, right here, you can see there's a big distance between the 50-day and the candlestick. Well, when that happens, this indicator down here at the bottom will turn red. But right now, today, we can see it's just white. I mean, it's not very hot at all. And why? Because price is sitting right at the 50, guys. So it looks like to me, feeder cattle prices have kind of stalled right around this 158 area, maybe 157.5. Let's see, it even got as low as, I mean, just a few, like maybe 3 weeks ago, it got all the way down to 152. Okay, so that seems to be the range right now. Let's see, 2 days ago it got as low as 150 and about 3/4. All right, so 150 and 3/4 to there, and the top has been about maybe about 160 and not quite a half. Okay, so that's your range. Okay, yeah, well, the low was 150 and 3/4. Yeah, 150 and 3/4, guys, to about 160.5, okay? And I think that's the range we're kind of stuck in for right now. If it breaks above this 50 really hard and gets aggressive and goes above it, then we'll reevaluate where we're at, okay? But for right now, guys, it looks like it's bumping up against this 158 area and getting rejected and being pushed down, okay? Looks like right now on this indicator, it isn't quite reached its peak, though this indicator does say looks like future prices are going to come down. So we'll see where this is headed. My best guess right now, guys, that are interested in knowing what the feeder cattle prices are and where I think we're headed, looks like 158 is getting rejected, and prices probably, if I had to flip a coin, are going to go back down at least temporarily on the daily. Now I'm going to finish up this video with the hourly. Okay. Now on the hourly chart, and I think this market's about to close. I don't remember the closing time, but I think it's 1 p.m. Let me check real quick here for yesterday. Yeah, it looks like it closes at 1 or what, 2. It's either 1 or 2 o'clock, right? Somebody will remind me. One of you guys that follow the cattle future session better than I do can tell me when it closes, but I think it's 1 or 2 o'clock it looks like. So we're coming up on the close for today, but the last, let's see, since Tuesday, now this hourly chart, so just keep this in mind, not daily, hourly. Since Tuesday, it broke above the 50-hour moving average pretty aggressively, got up to about 160, okay, which we know on the daily is the rejection point, right? Because we just saw that. That's the resistance point is up here, okay? And then it's getting rejected and pushing down. So I suspect it'll come back down to about this 156 to 157 area, somewhere in here, okay, over the next whatever day or two. Probably come back down here, somewhere around here, and touch this 156, 157, 158 area, okay? So which as a matter of fact, we see it's at 158 now. So a little bit lower maybe. And who knows, maybe it'll stay above this 50. It looks like it's tried to do it a few times over the last couple weeks. It tried to stay above the 158, or I should say the 156. And it's been tracking back and forth on the hourly, back and forth that line. So I would think between, let's say, the next day or two, I think prices are going to come down to about 157 maybe, and then we'll see if we get a bounce off that 157 area. Okay, guys? I think that's where we're headed for the short term. Okay? Until we get above that 160, guys, I think prices are going to keep getting rejected. If we get above the 160 aggressively on the daily, we'll reevaluate and go from there. Okay, so I think we have resistance at 160. We got support, maybe at least over the next day or two about 157-ish. All right, guys, hope you really enjoyed the video. Listen, do me a favor, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to click that little bell to be notified of all the videos as I put them out. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.